Chuck, just ask you what you've seen in this first week of practice. You've had a couple times with drills.
Say it again.
Just want to ask what you've seen in this first week of practice.
Well, this whole spring ball is going to be an evaluation period for us. The one thing that stood out right now is we are athletic and we can run, but we still have a big learning curve to go over as far as installing a new system and letting these guys play fast. But right now, we're making progress, but we still got a long way to go.
Who stands out so far?
You know what? I'm not even going to say that yet. I'm going to give it probably about another 3 or 4 practices before I start singling people out. I'd rather look at it as a collective group and start to see the skill set of the unit so that we can kind of mold the scheme around those guys before I start singling out individuals.
When you talk about molding a scheme, do you guys know you're going to be like a 4-3 defense, or is that even not established?
That's not even in stone yet. I mean, and not to be putting anybody down as a fan, but as a football coach, there's not a big difference between the 34 and the 43. There is for an offensive line that they have to make different changes in their run blocking schemes and their protection calls. But to me, when you run the under defense and you run a 34 defense, there's a lot of similarities. So in the spring, we're going to be primarily a 43, but we're going to expose them to some 34 principles so we can see if we've got those type of people.
Chuck, you say you don't want to go a lot of specific names. Are you pleased overall with what you've seen in terms of how well they've picked things up?
Guys have stood out. We haven't created a moving depth chart yet, so it's just kind of a rough depth chart. When we came in here, we wiped the board clean. The slate is clean. Every position is open for competition. And right now, we've had some guys shine, but I just don't want to single those guys out. It's too early. Some positions are harder to learn than the others, so it's a little bit unfair to say, okay, this guy's done well, but he's playing one of the easier positions. Right. So again, my whole thing is to see the unit, 11 guys playing fast.
Chuck, can you point to leaders you're seeing on defense right now? The guys that are helping you out on the field?
Yeah, I think our veteran leadership. You look at Luke Sager, you look at Juju, you look at Didi. Those are the guys, our two safeties, stepping up and really making some impact with the group. And I think that they're doing it the right way. They're not doing it with a lot of talk. They have fun, but they're doing it with their examples on the field. And if I did single somebody out leadership-wise as by example, it's probably Luke Sager.
Chuck, every time we've seen the first defense, we've seen Terrell Saffold out there working as a first-string corner. He's only been on campus 2 months, but what have you seen from him so far?
Well, he's doing some very good things. He's athletic. He's paying attention to detail. But again, let me emphasize, the depth chart right now means nothing. So there is no 1s, 2s, and 3s. We're saying 1s, 2s, and 3s out there, but until we start the moving depth chart, nothing's etched in stone.
And when do you think you'll do that? After the scrimmage Saturday?
Yeah,
or?
we'll start to do it later in the week, and then after the scrimmage, we'll be able to make a much better evaluation.